Right then, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson. Manchester United have beaten Fulham in the FA Cup quarter-final, booking our place for another trip to Wembley. We're playing Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final, as we found out just before kickoff. And it'll be a tricky game for us, but we managed to navigate a tricky game here. United rotated a little bit, similar to what we did really on Thursday night in Europa, where we rotated and we maybe didn't rotate as much as you would want to see us do on Thursday night, meaning that, tonight when we did rotate, it was probably more than you wanted to do, considering the magnitude of the game. We have got international break coming up soon, where you hope some of the players might be picking up little knocks and maybe they don't quite feel like going on international duty, but they probably all will because they're all lunatics, aren't they? But United managed to navigate the game. Just driving back into the office from Old Trafford, I had TalkSport on for my sins. But you know what it's like. I mean, you guys are doing the exact same thing I did. Hopefully you have a better opinion of myself than you do TalkSport. At least I hope so, if you're watching at least anyway. But I had TalkSport on just because I was like, let's see what everyone else thought of the game. And Adrian Durham is saying, Fulham came to Manchester United, they absolutely battered them, they did this, that and the other. And I was thinking, I mean, United were off the pace. But when you consider all of the factors at play here, rotated side, McTominay in there, Maguire in there, did they really come and dominate us? Like, it was an even game. I would like to kind of say, like, they've popped United around at Old Trafford. The way he was talking, you would think they was just like completely swarming us. They had a moment, I think after they just gone ahead, where they had a handful of corners and Mitrovic was free at all of them. You're like, Jesus Christ, how is no one getting a grip of him? Because he's an absolute handful, isn't he? And I'm thinking at the time as well, Jesus, I'd sign Mitrovic, even with what just happened afterwards. I'd still sign Mitrovic because his effectiveness at corners is just something that Manchester United just don't have. We don't have anything that level of effective at corners. It's a piss take. But the way the game flowed, well, do you know what? And this is the other thing as well, Durham, right? If Fulham were dominating us so much, explain how the incident, and all you can do is call it the incident, because it was one of the maddest 5 minutes of football I've seen. For those who follow Stretford Paddock FC, our game at the Whistle looked like that last night. We'll see what the fallout of that is. But, it kind of went a bit chaotic in our game last night. And you see that at our level. You don't see it in the Premier League usually like that. You certainly don't see managers getting involved and as an emotional as you do in Saturday and Sunday League football. But Marco Silva's lost his head. And I didn't see the red card being dished to him, but I did see him losing his head. Then you see the award for the penalty. And then I got a text off Rio saying, and a red. Because I texted him and said, was it handball? Because it was at my end in the Stretford end when Willian handballed it. But in real time, to me, it just looked like it hit his belly. I didn't think it was anywhere near his arm. So when the VAR call went in, I was pretty happy. But I was also kind of like, was that even handball? But yeah, so Rio texted said, yeah, and a red. And then obviously all hell breaks loose. Marco Silva's gone. Mitrovic has started grabbing up the referee. He's gone. And then Willian's got to go as well. And from that moment, I think it was 5 minutes from Willian being sent off to Manchester United being 2-1 up. And then obviously Bruno Fernandes gets the afters as well to make it 3-1 and definitely book Manchester United's place at Wembley in the semi-final. In fact, I probably need to sit here and get my train sorted for it, don't I, before they all book up. But, man, I think we're seeing a period of time now where this is about the results. Whatever United are doing, it's not now about making pretty little triangles and playing the best that we've seen this Manchester United side play. We spoke about this a couple of times over the last few weeks. When it's going the way it's going at the moment, where you are playing every single couple of days, there is zero time in the programme for you to be able to start breaking it down and start working on things in a tactical sense. Every single training session is focusing on recovery and then here's who's our opponent, or travelling. So you don't really have any time in the program where you can say, right, today we're going to look at our shape in the final third. Today we're going to look at our shape or moving the ball through the thirds. Today we're going to look at cutbacks from the byline. Like, there is no time in the program whatsoever to just pick a random topic and start tightening the screw on it. Playing out, counter-attacking, all of those different sort of elements of the game that you can't really touch because there's just no time in the program. It's recover. Here's what Fulham are going to do. How we're going to keep Mitrovic quiet. What we're going to do about Andreas Pereira. Quick team meeting, discussing that. Get out onto the training pitch. Have the under-23s sort of try and play through those sorts of patterns and then see how you can deal with them best. Maybe go for a couple of reps on what they like to do at corners and what you might want to do at corners. And I'll see you tomorrow for the game. That's literally all they're getting through at the moment. And it's tough. And when you speak to people, so one of my friends is a strength and conditioning coach at Southampton, and Southampton had a brief period where they were playing European football. It was a while ago. And him talking me through the sort of pain in the arse that was for how much training could get done and how difficult it is, and how, you think, well, your professional football is actually a full-time job. Yeah, and you're right. But the preparation Fulham would have had whilst Manchester United were preparing for, travelling to and playing in Betis on Thursday, Fulham did Manchester United prep, Manchester United prep, Manchester United prep. And just that little bit of extra preparation, that little bit of extra watching video of Manchester United, that little bit of extra, Bruno likes to do this, Rashford's going to want to do this, the little bit of extra time you can spend working on what the opposition players can do can be really, really fruitful once you get onto the turf on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. So, not excusing the performance. It was a poor performance from United, or at least subpar. I don't think it was anywhere near as bad as TalkSport are trying to ham it up. TalkSport was sitting there being like, I saw through so badly what they was doing. They'd be like, I wouldn't say this, but I bet some Fulham fans are on Twitter right now going, Bruno Fernandes touched a linesman and then Mitrovic has, gripped a referee and then have to be manhandled off the pitch, and that's just the same thing, surely, isn't it? No, it's entirely different. It's entirely different. And Mitrovic had to go. Not one of those red cards was incorrect. Not one, right? All right, I haven't seen Silva, but from what everyone was sort of talking about, not one. The other two I saw. But you can't tell me any of those red cards were incorrect. But all you're going to see is, United got 3 red cards, United got this, United got that. And honestly, it wasn't the best refereed game in the world. It was quite poorly refereed game, actually, if you want to be technical about it. But it is what it is. United through to the semi-final of the FA Cup. Performances are not as important as results for us right now. It's just about getting results. If we have a poor performance in the semi and we have a poor performance in the final and we come away with a trophy, does anyone give a shit? Absolutely not. Red Army keeps marching on. Progressed in another competition. Let's just see how far we can take this run, but it's going to be tricky. The games are coming thick and fast, and it's really leaning on the ability of the squad to be able to manage with it. But well done to the boys today, getting their noses in front in a tough game, and focus now shifts to the next game. See you in a bit.